All right, you guys, we're back. Welcome to the happy hour. I'm Heather,
I'm Robin.
I'm Piper.
and this is Piper, my daughter, who is our special guest today. If you guys are unfamiliar and have not listened before, both Robin and I have teenagers at home. And today we are going to ask her all of the big hairy questions and talk to you guys a little bit about like what life is like for a teenager in this day and age. And we told Piper she has to answer honestly but not use names. We don't want to have anybody suing us for defamation of character or anything like that.
No name dropping.
Yeah.
But
So in case you guys haven't listened before, again, I have Piper, and she has a twin sister named Izzy, and they are 17. They're juniors in high school. And
I have a 16-year-old daughter, Grace, and she's a sophomore, and a 13-year-old son, Bradley, who's a seventh grader.
yeah. So we're all kind of in the same, or Robin and I are kind of in the same phase of life with our kids' ages. And we're just going to talk to Piper about all the things and, just see what it's like. Like, this is you can answer honestly. You're not going to get in trouble for anything. I guess my parenting style, and I think we're pretty similar, is we're not going to be mad at you about something as long as you tell the truth, to a certain extent. But so Piper has.
Alani, it's the peach flavor. I've never tried it before, but it's really good.
All right, so Alani, she has her energy drink or whatever. And then, of course, we are going to drink half glasses of High Noons today because last time we were recording, we drank wine and champagne, and it was like bleh, by the end of 2 hours here. So cheers.
Cheers.
And again, if you're unfamiliar, this podcast is called the Happy Hour because we believe that if you only drink half glasses of things, that they don't count. It's sort of like splitting a sandwich. Like definitely did not eat a sandwich if you only have half a sandwich. So
we're gonna be.
She's got the hydraulics going on the table here.
Yep.
Um,
you.
so we're gonna drink half glasses of High Noons because they're so healthy. So, how do we want to start it off? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, to start off, I don't know any of these questions yet. Apparently, they have questions prepared for me, but I'm not aware, so I'm going to be caught off guard. But a little bit about me. I'm 17, junior in high school, and like my mom said, I have a twin sister. I would say do you think we're really similar?
I think you can be similar in a lot of ways. Like, you guys have all the same friends. She's into sports where you are not, so that's like a difference. But yeah, I would say like you look alike. They're not identical twins. They're fraternal twins. And they kind of come in and out of phases of looking more and less like each other.
Yeah,
Like when they were little, they looked really a lot like each other for a while. But it could have been the fact that I did your hair the exact same way with all the matching outfits and all the things. So, okay, continue on.
Well, like my mom said, I'm not in any sports, but I am very into makeup and like cosmetology stuff. But I'll do girls' makeup here and there for like prom, or I did a quinceañera once for like a girl and her whole family, which was fun. But I'm slowly trying to get myself into that, and obviously, like, I know it's something I like. Not quite sure about the whole cosmetology school thing yet, but I don't want to get too deep into that. But I don't know, what else do you think is important to?
I don't know. I think that's a good introduction.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to start off with the first question for Piper, or no? Because really, this is going to be the Piper hour, where we're just going to like listen to you spill the tea.
Yeah.
It's tea spilling time. It's tea spilling time.
Question.
Okay, so a little background on Piper and also Robin's kids. Her kids had some on and off with schools during COVID and all that drama. But my girls went to the local Catholic school from kindergarten through 8th grade. So they had 50 people or less in their entire grade for 9 years. And then they really wanted to go to public school for high school, which I was not a fan of necessarily, but we let them go. And freshman year, you just weren't thrilled with it. Like, why don't you talk a little bit about the difference between like how you felt between, a smaller private school and a big public school?
Well, since there was like 50 kids in my grade, I knew everyone like fairly well. And I knew the high school was going to be like a big change, but I didn't know much. But all I can say is high school is definitely not like High School Musical. So if you expect that, maybe it's just St. Michael, but expect to be disappointed. But I don't know. I went my freshman year and I did meet a lot of new friends. Like I met new friends, but it wasn't just it just wasn't like you could tell it wasn't like a private school would be. So my
Like a
freshman
small
year,
atmosphere.
yeah, like it was very you could know no one in any of your classes and just
Well, you went from 50 kids in your grade
Yeah.
to over 500, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
like I was meeting new people, but like I said, like you didn't really, you made your select friends and then the rest was kind of just like everyone was just kind of doing their own thing. So end of freshman year, one of my best friends that I went to private school with for 8 years went to Benilde St. Margaret's. And so we looked into going there and I like shadowed him and my sister did too. And I really liked it and I wanted to go there, but my sister wasn't so sure and we ended up like enrolling and we were like got accepted and stuff. And then my sister decided to back out last minute because of soccer because she wanted to stay at SCMA for soccer, which I was kind of nervous about going to a new school, but I was like whatever, like it wasn't really upset about it. But looking back now that I'm like at the end of my junior year, I definitely wish I would have gone, but I didn't want to go by myself. Like I wish Izzy would have gone too, and I think we would have been like I think we would have liked it. But life goes on, so
Do you
I think it would have been a cool
do
experience.
you
but-
feel that before you went to the high school that you knew a lot of people because of social media or
Well, I think like most of the girls that I'm friends with now, like I knew who they were through social media, but I didn't meet them until like the beginning of my freshman year and I made like two really good friends, Gabby was already my friend. But I made two of my other best friends, which is Josie and Kylie, which went to the middle school.
Yeah, we can use names if we're talking about nice things.
Yeah. So I had my best friend's always been Gabby, and I knew her since I was little. And then
And
Raina.
she did not go to Catholic school.
No,
with
she
you.
went to a public school, but we knew each other because we lived by each other. And then I met I met a good amount of girls, but I like kind of found that Josie and Kylie were my two like the girls that I like was most like and am now still like best friends with them. So I think those are the two people that I met through the high school that I'm.
Yeah, I feel like you guys, meaning Piper and her sister, keep their circle pretty small.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen Izzy hang out a little bit with a couple people from soccer over the years, school soccer, but you guys have a pretty small circle.
Yeah.
But I also feel like you guys will remain friends for a really long time. Like, I went to a very small Catholic high school that was actually all girls, and I had what was it 46? Is it? I can't. I'm having like a brain fart on this.
46 people in your class?
46 or 56 in my whole grade. Yeah, girls. And obviously people had their groups and stuff, but my girlfriends from high school are still like my really good girlfriends. And the weird part about that is, and some people have that, but the weird part about that is with the school I went to is that like my friends' sisters and random people I meet, like the girl who does Robin and I's Botox went there. And there is, I believe, something about that super small atmosphere where I don't know why you're more connected or why people stay in touch longer, but it really seems like they do.
Yeah.
I mean, but you went to public high school here where we live now, and you're
We had
still really
140
close.
I think we graduated with around 140, and I have my
Yes.
group
But that'd be
of-
like
there's
going to
5 of
Benilde
us.
St. Margaret's right now. So it's still really a smaller, I think when you get into those like 300, 400, 500, 600 kids
Yeah.
in a grade, it's just too much.
I felt like we knew everybody 3 or 4 years above us and 3 or
Correct.
4 years below
Oh,
us.
we knew almost everybody in the whole school.
Yeah.
Because they were related somehow, or somebody's siblings or cousins, or
Yes.
we lived in St. Paul. It's a St. Paul. Everyone in St. Paul is like related. So I was ready to get out of there after high school. But so like overall, like, do you feel like there's a huge difference in like how much attention is being paid to how you're performing in school?
Well, yes, but also like high school is way harder than like middle school. But I do think obviously since there's how many kids in my grade, like 400, like it's the I think the teachers could do a better job, but it's also there's so many people that
Right.
it's like near impossible
Yeah,
to
they're
be
doing their
so
best.
focused on every single person. Like no teacher's gonna like chase you down if you don't have a test or a quiz or a homework assignment and like it's all up to you.
Right. Which I think, like, in some ways is a good preparation for college because that's exactly how it is. But in other ways, I feel like if you would have gone to, Benilde or whatever school, like, people are paying attention. You know what I mean? And they're contacting parents and stuff. So, there are benefits and, disadvantages to both, I guess. But so, should we get into the juicy social stuff?
Sure.
Okay. So, what do you want to ask, Robin?
Oh gosh.
I have a lot of. I feel like you guys are pretty open with Dad and I, and we're the house where everyone is all the time, and
Yeah.
same
Which
with
is
you.
really fun. Though I
I love
come
it.
over to your house.
Yeah, well, that's true. Robin is also one of the kids at our house all the time. But like, I would rather spend $1 million on Domino's Pizza and have all the kids at my house any day than have my girls be gone all the time.
Yeah.
So I love that. Do you like that everybody's always at our house?
Yeah, I do. Cause one, I don't like being away from home. Like I don't like not sleeping in my bed. Like when I'm in Cancun, that's different. But I don't know. I like sleeping in my bed, and I like that you and my dad are very like welcoming, and you like to get to know all my friends, and a lot of my friends I feel would consider you guys as parents, which is awesome because I know a lot of parents aren't. Some parents are, not all, but I think I definitely got the best of,
Aw.
Oh,
It's true. I'm not just saying
I
that.
love that girl. Yeah. I don't know. I love it. Like, don't you love it? Having everybody over?
Yeah. I feel like we haven't had a ton of kids at our house lately, but I love when everybody's there. We have that huge island. I just want all the kids there, and
Yeah.
I want to hear all the stories. And
Yeah. I want to know what's going on.
yeah,
Oh, I know you do.
Well, I always feel like it'd be so weird, like, a few of your friends, and again, we won't have to use names, but like, they're at our house all the time. And like, if you were at somebody else's house all the time, I would hate that.
I know. And
Because I'd be like, what are you doing? What's happening?
I also don't know if this is like true, but I feel like that's like another reason you have a lot of trust in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you know who I'm hanging out with,
Yeah.
and you know like what my friends are like, and like how we are as like a friend group. You know.
But
Do you
like this
agree?
past weekend, Piper went to some kid's house that she knows who goes to a different high school on Friday night, and Mark and I were actually already up at our cabin, and her and her girlfriends were coming up Saturday, and like, they're 17 and 18. Like, I'm not gonna call the parents and be like,
Yeah.
"Hi, my daughter's coming over." Like, that's not. I mean, 2 years ago I would have.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have been driving and stuff, but I don't even like that. Not because I think
know
you're in
you
trouble,
don't.
but I just like, well, who are they and what are they like and all the things. But that's just part of like your kids getting older, and
Yeah.
obviously they're gonna know people from other places, and like hopefully you have good judgment, and I feel like you guys do. So
How
All
did
right.
you meet these people?
Well, a group of me and my girlfriends went there, and we knew this one boy from the summer from like mutual friends that moved away for hockey, and he was home for spring break, and so he's like, "You guys and your friends should come hang out with me and our friends." So we're just like, I mean, we're open to meeting new people. Like my mom said, we keep our circle very small. Like we're always open. Like we're nice to everyone else. But us like 5, 6 girls really only hang out with like us 5, 6 girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean we have like some of my friends, if they have a boyfriend or whatever, will like hang out with their friends, but it's usually just us six. But we are like open to meeting new people, and we're like all really friendly and talkative. So it's fun to go like hang out with other people and like, you know.
Do you feel like it's you six and Joe?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Well, there's that. Her twin sister has a boyfriend who's literally with us all the time, which we love. I mean,
Yeah.
but he is definitely one of the girls.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, not in a weird way, but he can hang. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
He's
And-
also very like friendly and like gets along with
Yes,
everyone,
like
us.
couldn't be any friendlier. He's not like one of those guys who's going to be like standoffish to
Yeah.
other people or girls. No, no.
So cute.
He loves Robin.
I love
Robin.
Joe.
He's always like, "Oh, Robin's here."
No, Izzy's always like, Joe loves Robin. Like, I just love it.
Well, good thing because we're together a lot. So,
Oh, you guys are
I
cute.
feel like, do you think it's like a lot different now? Like when we were in high school, like if you met someone from a different like town or school. So I lived up at my cabin in the summers. We lived there all summer. So I had kind of this other group of kids who I was friends with who went to a few different high schools because they lived in Cross Lake in the summers. And my friends were always like, it was so weird because my friends who didn't do that, like nobody had friends from other schools unless they were like, you know, you went to a private school and there's a public school in your area.
Right.
But like nobody, I mean, without social media, like you didn't, like there was no way to meet them. Like you wouldn't meet them unless,
yeah, you're not gonna drive out to a, you know, like a cornfield and just start going to the bonfire.
no, you're going to drive to your local cornfield
Yeah.
and have a field party,
Yeah.
but not somebody else's
No,
cornfield.
I wasn't gonna.
There's a lot of field. Have you ever been to a field party?
No. I don't know if that's a thing anymore.
Do you know what they are?
Yeah, like don't you just go like sit in a cornfield and like drink? Pretty much, right?
Like a bonfire and then a bunch of trucks around us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lot of
no, I've
trucks.
never experienced that one.
Well, maybe you're missing out.
But I can imagine you two there, like how many years ago?
Oh yeah, we were good at that.
Yep, for sure.
So like if people have parties, or do people have parties like at their houses, like ragers where there's like 200 people there?
I mean, yeah, but like the thing is now, like it's gonna get busted. Like especially if it's in like a regular neighborhood, like
Yeah.
that's not. But people do, like people try, but sometimes they don't stay open for that long because the cops are on it, I guess.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we were growing up, like that was constant. Whoever's parents were out of town, there'd be like 100 people there.
Yeah, you could just drive around. And we're
You
like,
could just drive around and find a party. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
it is. Look at all the cars, and you just park and go in.
I know, it's so weird now that I think back. Like, why were these were all my friends were lived like in neighborhoods.
Oh,
Yeah,
And, like,
ours are all
I'm
like
looking
that.
back, like, how did this even happen? I mean, I did it all the time. Not all the time, but like,
Well,
how did I have all those people at my house and one of the neighbors weren't like calling my mom? But I guess there was no cell phones.
Yeah, and I think the
Yeah.
neighbors too were probably like just staying, keeping your own business. You know.
It's kind of hard to ignore the 700 cars
Yeah.
in the cul-de-sac, but you know, details.
Details.
Okay, so like, there aren't really, so like, okay, so if people want to get together and party and drink, where do they go?
I feel like someone's house, if like the parents are gone, or some people's parents just do not care.
Yeah.
But I feel like if people want to like stay up all night and like get drunk with their friends, they just limit it to like a certain amount of people, so like they can actually like stay there without having to like,
Yeah.
you know. But I feel like, well, another thing about like people throwing ragers, like if you have a nice house, like your house is gonna get trashed and shit's gonna get stolen. Like people will just steal stuff and like break your like.
Yeah, that didn't really happen at our parties.
Yeah, that's like the main
Once in a
concern
while, I
I
remember
feel.
there being one where someone's like, you know, something got broken or whatever, but it wasn't like people being destructive. It was just like someone fell over and broke the glass coffee table or, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I hear about that more now, which is
Yeah.
so weird.
It is really weird because they're your friends.
Yeah.
Usually
Well,
that are there.
Yeah.
Weird.
The problem is I think when people tell people and then people tell people
Yeah,
and it gets
yeah.
bigger and then it's a
Show
bunch of
up.
idiots that you don't know.
Yeah.
So like, how much, like, compared to, like, when we were in high school, I feel like everybody drank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my friends did, but I know I'm speaking for my group of friends, but like, I feel like it was a big thing.
Yeah.
And like,
everybody
I don't
every
feel like
weekend.
it is as much anymore. So speak to that.
I don't know. I think it is like there people definitely drink. I mean, more people than others, but I feel like people are almost more like like what's the word? Like careful about it because especially if you're in sports,
Yeah.
if like a picture gets out, you're literally in the background and someone has a drink in their hand, like someone that doesn't like you or literally anyone, if like the word gets around, you're expelled from your sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that wasn't as like
No.
because there wasn't social media or anything as
Yeah,
much
someone
would
cameras.
have to
There was
print
not-
a picture.
There were no phones.
Yeah.
yeah, so people just like have to be really careful about that because I mean you hear about people all the time getting suspended from their sports for chemical violations or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like drinking's a big thing still, especially at like I mean my school isn't very like we don't there's no parties ever in St. Michael. Like has anyone noticed that? There's never anything going on, but like schools
I go
like
to bed at 9, so.
yeah, like Minnetonka and like all that is like different. But I mean, it's definitely a thing. I don't know what it was like when you guys were in high school, but definitely not gone. But I think people are just more careful about it if
Yeah.
they want to be doing that.
And like, are still people still smoking and vaping a lot? Or like, because I mean, when I was in high school, also everyone smoked. And I know that's not like a thing anymore and vaping didn't exist. But like, what's the deal with that and like other drugs?
I feel like, yeah, definitely a lot of people vape, but was it like cigarettes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like no one like casually smokes a cigarette like every day, but some people will like joke and be like, "Oh, like drunk cigs are the best." Like people get drunk and like smoke a cigarette. I don't know what that's
they
about.
were back in the day, let's be honest. But now I would die.
Yeah, but
yeah, I'd get so sick.
Oh.
I think like the biggest thing now is like carts and just like smoking weed or like I even hear about people doing like shrooms or like acid and stuff, which is scary.
So scary.
But no, I feel like drugs are like a lot of people smoke, like young, like
Marijuana.
yeah, like usually just carts because they're like easier to get. But
what's a
like,
Do they
Cards.
smell?
yeah, they smell
Oh.
like weed. It's just like it's like a vape, but it's weed.
Oh.
And yeah,
I don't
know.
understand why people smoke because it smells so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It does smell bad,
Yeah.
I'm confused.
but
Do they do it in school?
oh yeah, sometimes the bathrooms smell
What?
so bad.
I
Like
heard.
you'll walk in and it literally smells like someone just like lit like a blunt in the bathroom.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
what I
like
heard.
this is totally traumatic to me. Like this, I mean, I realize my school experience was abnormal, but
It's just like
Wow.
casual now. Like it's just like
well, I think marijuana is
Mm-hmm.
viewed very differently now than it was when we
Yeah.
were growing up. I mean, it is legal in most states, and I mean, you have to be 21 to buy things. I think you
I
have
feel
to
like
buy
you have to be
21 to
21.
buy like at a dispensary. I've actually never been to a dispensary. Well, like in Amsterdam, I was like 100 years ago, but
I've never been to one.
I've never been to one either.
Mm-mm.
But I think you have to be 21. Not that that matters. People are still going to get what they're going to get, but I just think it's a very like a much more widely accepted thing than it
Yeah.
was.
yeah, it is 21. But yeah, it's definitely more normalized, I think.
I
It's
feel
just,
like it was like a if someone was doing that when I like it was like a big deal
Yes.
and like a big secret
Yes.
or
Yeah,
like oh
no.
my god I heard so and so had weed at the whatever party. Now I feel like it's everywhere.
In
Yeah, it
school.
I don't know if it's better or worse than drinking. I mean, everybody has their opinion about that, but okay, so that's kind of the partying 411.
Mhm.
Now we have to talk about boys.
Yeah, we've got to
Oh,
talk about
my
the boys.
favorite topic.
You hate it?
No, I'm just joking. I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not at the same time.
Okay, so give us kind of the rundown. Your sister has had Joe,
Yeah.
otherwise known as Joe, for several years, basically. And you have had a couple short-term relationships
Yeah.
where the boys have turned out to be kind of DBs.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like just talk about that. Like, do you want a boyfriend? Are you better off with, you know what I mean? How do you feel about high school relationships? Like all the things.
Give me the mic. Okay. Well,
We love
am
her.
I supposed to like go into like just like kind of give a brief like
You can just say whatever you want.
well, I had a boyfriend like most of my 8th and 9th grade year, which was like my first boyfriend which like I really liked him, whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But we were both just like very like immature, and I just thought it was the biggest deal ever at the time. Obviously, like everyone does. Then we broke up like my ninth grade year, and then I had like was hanging out with some boys here and there, but I was like really young. I feel in ninth grade when
A
I
whole
was like
2 years ago.
no, like not
know,
that I'm
I
so
know.
much older now, but like I'll look at like freshman girls like now, and I'll be like, oh, like they would never hang out with a boy, but I was like that was like me though, which is just I don't know. But so I hung out with like a couple boys here and there, and I had some like ones that weren't so great, a couple. But I also feel like that is like a learning experience that everyone needs to go through because I feel like I've learned so much just from like how to deal with that kind of stuff from like the kind of people I've run into. But yeah, and then I had a boyfriend for the first time like earlier this fall, which I definitely had my guard up a lot and then probably shouldn't have let my guard down, but I did, and that didn't end so well. But then again, like from my past experiences, I've learned so much that I know how to deal with it now, and it's
Oh.
not like the end of the world and I like can't get out of bed. It's just like, okay, well, like literally you're lost. Like it's that simple.
Smart
It's-
girl.
It's really not that. It's really not that deep. Like
Yeah. I feel like, when your first relationship ends, whether it's when you're a freshman in high school or a senior in high school, whatever, like you literally think like
yeah,
you will never meet anyone
gonna
again.
die.
It's the end of the world. You're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember even telling you like freshman year, like you're gonna look back on this and it's gonna be such a blip on your radar. And even just 2 years later, isn't that like
Yeah.
such a blip on your radar? Like you almost are like,
I know.
what?
And even like some of my friends now that are like going through their first like heartbreak or whatever, like looking at them, how upset they are, like that was how I was. But like, I wish they could just understand like you're gonna be fine. Like it's really not. Like obviously like it's okay to be upset and like take time to like feel better and heal, but you're gonna look back on it and you're gonna be just fine. Like I wish I could tell. Like I wish they would believe me, but
They just
it's
have
all,
to have
yeah,
their
it's
own.
all a learning experience. Like I said, everyone needs to go through, and I think I know how to handle myself in those situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as far as looking for a boyfriend, are you like looking for a boyfriend, or are you just kind of like if
Well, like now in like our like day and age, there's a lot of like hookup culture, I guess you could say, like all that. And I'm not really like I would much rather have like be like in a committed relationship. Like I would rather be have a boyfriend. You know what I mean? But I'm not like searching. I'm not chasing anyone. Like if the right person comes along, like yeah. But I'm also not one of those girls that's like, oh, I don't want a boyfriend because I just want to be able to like get with any guy I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there is like a huge hookup culture.
Yeah.
And are people having sex in this hookup culture? Or is it more just like, because I'm all for like kissing every boy you can.
Yeah.
I mean, being the kissing bandit, I tell Piper to be the kissing bandit. I'm like, kiss two boys every weekend. I mean, just don't do the other stuff. Because, I mean, why not?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but so like, I mean, are people doing that?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot. There's a lot of people that'll just like have sex with anyone. And like personally
Gross.
never me, but a lot of people just don't care and they'll just like use each other for sex.
why?
I couldn't tell you actually. I think that that's like there's like a certain point and that's like kind of going past it. Like you don't want to be giving like a gross boy all that.
No.
Like no, especially if he's like, you know, then you think about him going and doing it with other girls. Like you don't matter at all. Like
Yeah.
Good
So
girl.
Yeah.
there's definitely a line between. I mean, no judgment to any girls out there, but personally, well, yeah, there's definitely a hookup culture. That's all I have to say.
And it probably gets worse in college, I would assume.
it is
Because I'm sure some people like, I mean, I feel like I saw in college like kids who had like really strict parents and then they went away to college and they just went like crazy, like balls to the walls, partying, hooking up with all these guys. And that's why I feel like as a parent, it's good to like let you make some mistakes. And,
Yeah.
you know, I've told my girls, like, I want you to drink before you go to college, you know, at some point and stuff because I want you to know what it feels like to, have alcohol. And so you don't go to some party your freshman year in college and end up, in the hallway passed out from,
Right. Friends to help
a glass of sparkling rosé. We went to Europe last summer, and so it was legal for kids for them to drink. So we liked our sparkling rosé. But all right, what else do we have, Robin?
Okay, so friends,
School,
boys,
partying.
shopping.
Well, considering my mom's a blogger, I definitely am guilty of retail therapy. I love it. It works. I don't care. But
It does work. It
Yeah.
does work.
Agreed.
yeah, if I have a new top in the mail, I can't be sad about anything.
I do want to know a little bit more about like your makeup and what you
Oh.
like about it, like where I know you don't know for sure if that's where you want to go with
Mhm.
it, but what you're kind of
But talk about like where you see yourself after high school, because truth be told, it's like a year from now that you're going to be at that point, and it's going to come so fast.
Well, I mean, I've always been obsessed with makeup ever since I was really little. I would just do my makeup in my bathroom all the time.
Like even when you were had play makeup. when you were
Yeah, and when I was 9 or 8, I would do my own makeup for my dance competitions.
little.
Do you remember that?
And other girls.
Yeah. So I feel I had really bad acne in 8th, ninth, mostly ninth, and sort of 10th grade. So I would cover that up and it didn't look good, but I feel that did kind of help me learn how
Well,
to
it didn't look good, but you did a good job of
Yeah.
she had bad acne.
Yeah.
And you did. I would have never been able to figure out how to do that.
yeah.
And talk
So
about
that
going
was
on
kinda
Accutane, too.
I was almost forced to learn how to do it. So I feel I started getting acne right after 8th grade. Then it was all of 9th grade, and I went to the dermatologist and tried all this stuff, and I was just it wasn't working. So then, when did I start it? My
remember.
10th grade year, December, I was all right, I'm going on Accutane, I'm done with this. So I did that, and it wasn't very bad for me. My sister and 2 of my other friends have done it too. A couple of them are on it right now, and it seems a lot worse for them, but it wasn't that bad for me. Because when you look at boys that are on Accutane, they don't know how to keep their skin moisturized, and then their lips, and I'm just I know how to handle all that, so it wasn't awful. My joints kind of hurt and dry skin obviously, but it worked really good. And then I got off it. I think I was
hate to
only-
interrupt you, but Robin, would you like another half glass?
Yes, please.
Okay, just checking. Proceed, Pipes.
So I think I was on it for 7 months, and I haven't really had a problem. I've had some eczema stuff around my nose, but I just went to the dermatologist, got a cream, and it went away.
Yeah,
So I
your
haven't
skin
any-
looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's,
Problems, thank you.
perfect now. So if your kids say that if you're struggling with acne, it's worth
So,
you would say Accutane is worth it.
I am, if anyone, I know how bad acne can be for your mental health. If I break out a little bit, I'm not leaving my room and I'm not going in the sunlight. Trust me, I know. But Accutane's different for everyone, but I think it was worth it personally. It I have no scars or anything like that, and I don't have to do any extensive skincare routine. I just use gentle stuff and it works good. But back to the point. So I think I started almost being forced to know how to do makeup from covering up my acne. And once I was my skin was clear, I was okay, I can do whatever I want with makeup now. It's gonna look good no matter what. So after just doing it every day and figuring out what colors and what looks good with your features, I don't know, I just feel and products obviously. I've spent too much money on makeup, but
A little bit.
retail therapy. I don't know, after just doing it every day, I just think I've gotten better at it and know what looks good on me. So last year I was a sophomore, so I didn't go to prom. So I did maybe 7 girls makeup for prom, cause not everyone knows how to do makeup, especially for something that you kind of want more. So I just did that, and then I did a couple girls for their senior pictures, and I did this girl and her whole family for a quinceañera. I did one of my friends today, just to see what she wanted for prom because she wants me to do it, and I obviously love it, and it's what I'm good at, and I don't love school either. So I think I want to go to ASU because I want to go to college, but I also want to like go into something cosmetology wise, so I'm not quite sure yet. I'll figure it out, but I want to do both. I don't want to do one
love
of them.
about doing other people's makeup? Like,
Yeah, answer that.
Honestly, my favorite part is just like making them like their reaction at the end and like making them like feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
Because like girls that like don't know how to do their makeup and they have like a full face and it's like they're like, oh my god, like I look so pretty, and I don't know, I just
Yeah.
love it.
oh,
Yeah.
that's
I
great.
feel like there's so much opportunity in that field too, because if we're being all being honest, like I almost want to say like vainness is becoming a bigger business as time goes on. Like, everybody gets Botox, people are getting filler, people are doing lasers, like all of these businesses are booming.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's not going to stop anytime soon. I mean, if I look at the way that our parents looked when they were 45, it is not the same way we look, and this is not a natural situation.
Right,
Like this,
yeah.
I'm getting, we have, tanning creams, and we're not. Well, people aren't going to the tanning booth anymore, which is like, thank God, because that was
Yeah, they are a lot of
Sometimes.
a lot. Well, you'll learn not to, because that was my
I'm
biggest
not-
regret
I
in
don't
life
go
was
tanning.
tanning like
Spray
7
tans.
million. Oh, yeah. I mean, right?
Getting one after this.
Yeah. Spray tan.
Spray tan.
Yeah, spray tan's great. But so I feel like that industry is going to get big. But what I've talked to Piper about is I mean, I know the cost of college now is like so ridiculously astronomical compared to what it was when we were in college. Even if like for us, we're from Minnesota, like if we were to go to the U of M, or you were to go to the U of M, it would still be like high $30,000 a year. And to me, that's like, what? To go to like your in-state university? That's crazy. But at the same time, and so, I've talked to my husband a little bit about, he's like, well, I think, if you don't really want to be in college, is it? But college is like such a time for like just maturing and like having that experience.
Yeah.
And for me with Piper, like, I want you to have that, because it's just so fun, and you get to meet so many people and stuff. So I don't know. I think for you, like, I can totally see you going to that industry, and I think you'll be so good at it. But like, I hope you go for at least part of college just to have that experience of, being at a school and meeting friends, and, maybe doing a sorority, and like, because it's fun. It's like living on your own, but not really paying for it. If you're not paying for it, you know what I mean? It's like, it's, you know what it is? It's pretend adulting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, now I was lucky enough I didn't have to pay for my college. You paid for all your school, didn't you?
I
What
paid
was
for it.
your college experience like? Because we know what hers is.
Yeah,
I
tell
know
it.
hers is
You
like,
loved it,
but
didn't
we
you?
never-
Oh yeah, I had a great time at college. I went to St. Cloud my first 2 years, which was paid for, and then my mom was like, "Hey, you have to pay for the rest of your college." So I did 3 more years because
Because you were a super senior.
Yeah, super senior. But it was great. I sold books for my summer job, and that's how I paid for school. And then during the school year, I just recruited. But I had the best time. I went to NDSU at the end and had a ton of friends. And I don't know, I just loved it. I traveled all the time.
So fun.
Yeah.
You were talking about, because this is something I wanted to do and didn't do, so I would love for her to do.
really want to do semester at sea, maybe like my sophomore year. I think it'd be so fun. I've seen like girls, like influencers do it, and like obviously it's like glorified, like what they're posting, but like it looks so fun. I think it would be so cool.
What's the
I wanted to
semester
do
at
it
sea?
too.
You live on a
Oh.
boat for a semester and
On a
study
cruise
on a
ship.
cruise ship,
Oh,
and you study.
fun. And so you just go around to different
And
countries?
you just go around, visit different countries, and you live on a cruise ship.
Oh,
I know, like who wouldn't want to do that?
yeah, you should.
I want to do
totally
it really
that.
bad.
I totally wanted to do that, and then I was totally chickened out on it and just whatever. And so I like so hope you'll do that kind of stuff, because
Was
the
that
craziest part
available
about
for
being
us?
their age is you only get this time once.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it sucks, because I'd love to do it again now.
Oh, we know.
But you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
weird. Like, you're at that weird age where you're like, the decisions you make are going to shape the whole rest of your life.
Yes.
And that's
Scary.
crazy. I mean,
Well-
isn't that scary?
It is, but yeah, I don't even know. Like I think about that sometimes, and it's just so crazy. But then like you always talk about it, and then it like really like kicks in, and I'm like, there's no like going back. Like it's only like forward, and you don't get to replay
You
it.
don't get to redo any day again,
No.
ever.
Yeah.
I studied abroad and I was so glad that I did.
Yeah, where did you
Yeah.
go?
I lived in London and then I did my internship there. And then every single weekend I traveled to a different country.
All over Europe.
Sounds
it
so
was so
fun.
great. But you
Yeah.
can't, once you get married and have kids, it's really hard to go do that.
I
again.
know. That's why I definitely
can't.
want to do it
Yeah.
in college.
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, if a lot of people like say they're going to take a year off or whatever. And I was going to go to either graduate school or to law school. And I decided to take a year off. And I should have never done that because then I got a job. And then I moved out with my girlfriend and we got an apartment. Well, then I had financial responsibilities and then I bought a car. And then it was kind of like, oh, how am I going to go back to school? Now I have like kind of this life.
Yeah.
And, you know, then I got married and had you guys. And it, like, I'll never do it now. I should have just done it then. I would have loved to be a lawyer.
You would have been Elwood.
I
You
would have,
literally would've been
oh, I totally would have been Elwoods with the dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been, oh my God, I could have like pink suits. Well, anyway, the ship has sailed, but that's my point with these guys. I'm like, you want to go to college here? Go, but go now. Don't delay it because there's no time like the present. It's, it's cheesy, but it wouldn't be a cliche if it wasn't true, you know? So, okay, Pipes, what else do you want to talk about? Tell us what else goes on in,
I don't
your
even
world.
know. I just feel
are you
like
scared to move away? Or to,
Well,
to make a change?
I feel like I'm very like homebody, but I also
Both you and
don't
Izzy
like
are.
high school, and I don't think I thrive in high school, and I think I'll thrive in college. But I am like I don't like change, so I feel like it's gonna be a hard adjustment to move away. But I also love Arizona, and my sister I think wants to go to ASU, so that would be nice to like have her there, and like I don't know. I'm scared, but I'm not gonna not do it because I'm scared.
It's also not a strange place to you.
No, yeah, I'm familiar with Arizona. Like I've gone there every year since I was born. So,
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun. Very fun.
Their
It's gonna
grandma
be
lives
fun.
there.
Yeah, my grandma lives there. And I think one of my best friends, who's a year older than me, is going to go there too. So that'll be nice to like kind of know what she thinks about it before I go.
Oh, she'll give you the 411 on everything. That's gonna be awesome
I
to have
know.
her there. Like, that's because like my best friend growing up, and still one of my best friends, Megan. Her older brother went. He was 2 years older than us. So when I was a freshman, he was a junior, I guess. And so like that first weekend, he's like, "Oh, you're coming to the Pike House, and we're having this party, and blah blah blah." So I like a couple girls I had met in the dorms, Liz and stuff. I'm like, I guess we're going to the Pike frat house for a party. And Charlie was like, "You don't screw with these girls." He didn't use that word, but you know. And he's like, you drink too much or whatever. You stay in my room. Like no one's gonna. So I was like, oh, I know someone here.
Yeah, that's
like
amazing.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a parent there or anything or a
Yeah.
grandparent. Like that's the only part that will be really nice for them too. Is that
They'll do your laundry.
if you need to get the hell out of your dorm, they can go to their grandma's and
Yeah.
chill for the weekend and
Mhm.
get cooked for and bring your laundry.
Yes.
So, what else do we need to cover? Tell us what else happens in teenage life. What questions do you have? I mean,
I don't even know.
it's like Grace is like the same age but 1 year behind, so it's like you're good. You know, I feel like it's kind of the same, but
So I wonder, like, do you guys like trust your kids a lot? Like, do you think we're ever up to no good, or like, what do you think?
I totally trust Grace and Bradley. Like at this point.
like
Yeah.
you said, until they give you a reason not to.
Yep.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does say that all the time.
Well, I feel like we've been very, what's the word, lenient with you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like, oh, you can come home whenever you want, but you have like a reasonable curfew. And,
Yeah.
you know, usually if you ask to stay a little later, it's usually a yes, unless it's like unreasonable.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I don't think you're up to no good very often. I mean, I know there's been a few times where you've tried to fudge the truth and you got busted.
No,
That's
that
part of
was,
being a teenager.
time-
Okay, that was only once, and
Right.
I was not lying either. But you thought I was lying.
Well, you did lie about the parents being there, and then the fact that Julia had to go
Oh,
home
you talking about
early.
that?
Yeah.
No, in my defense,
There's another time.
I asked my friend, and he said, "Yeah, Julia has to be up early."
Okay. Okay.
I
Well,
wasn't
anyway,
lying.
I mean, this was like considering like the whole world of having teenagers, this was a minor incident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have it pretty good. I'm
But
a good kid.
I also know everyone. She's like, how did you know that? How do you know who's there? How do you know where you're at? I'm like, dude, I know everyone.
Hey, can you tell me that now?
What?
I wasn't lying about this, but we went to go pick up so and so in Cross Lake, and we didn't tell you we were leaving.
We were sneaking out.
Same thing.
She says they just didn't say they were leaving.
Well, you guys were sleeping.
Oh, I knew about it from two different people.
How'd you know that?
Okay, so I can say the name because I don't care. So the Engstrom boys were there.
I knew it. I knew
Yeah.
you said something.
And the mom calls me. So this is a good one. Last summer, 4th of July. It wasn't like the actual 4th of July. It was like the night before or something. On the 4th of July, I get this text message from this girl I know. And she's like, oh my God, my boys saw your girls last night at this party on Trout Lake. And I was like, huh, you don't say. So I'm texting her and I'm like, really? Really? Are you sure it was my girls? They're like, oh yeah, it was your girls. They were with another blonde girl and a blonde boy, which was Joe, and then their other friend that was with them. And I was like, yeah, that would have been them. And then a second person messaged me that I know, and I was like, Piper, if you're gonna sneak out and go to a party in Cross Lake, I'm gonna get like multiple calls because I know everyone.
Okay, but in my defense, we actually weren't going to party. Our friends were there, and they said they needed a ride, which is not a lie. So we went, we stopped in, we said hi for a little 5 minutes maybe, and we drove them home. But I think you had your other sneaky suspicions, and then you thought
I didn't at all until the next day.
no, like
Oh.
you thought we were going to like do whatever.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you did. First of all, who sneaks out at 11:30? That's like so early.
Who was sleeping?
I know I'm a loser, but like
So-
if you so earlier that summer you had asked because our cabin is like currently is like 30 minutes from Cross Lake where this is
Yeah.
going. So, but like that Memorial Day weekend, you asked to go over to your friends in Cross Lake both nights, and I let you go.
Yeah.
So like if you would have asked, there would have been at least a 50% chance that we would have let you guys go get your friends who needed a ride.
Yeah, it was my bad.
So anyway, but you know, like I said, in the whole realm of the world, especially compared to what I was doing as a teenager, there has been really no big drama.
You were mad. You
Well,
were
I
so
actually,
pissed.
here, if I'm being honest with you, Piper,
I know you were.
I
that
thought it
bad.
was kind of funny.
I know you did, and you were trying to be scary.
And I was like,
was
because I'm like,
snuck
oh my
off.
God, dude, they totally snuck out. So I was like, you guys need to come home. And they're like, what did we do? What did we do? And I was like, so how was the party last night in Cross Lake? And they're all like, on text, I said this. I don't know what you're talking about. And then Piper says, can you elaborate?
Well, I was just so confused. I don't even remember like talking to Jake there.
Apparently you made a scene because everyone knew you were there.
Well, it wasn't even like a party. There was like 15 people.
It doesn't matter.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So I was like, we were all like, how did she even know we were there? And I was like, it's gotta been the Angstroms. I knew it was them, and you wouldn't admit it either. But that,
I mean, it wasn't. She didn't do anything wrong by messaging me. She didn't know
No.
that you weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah,
she
I
was just
know.
like, "Oh my gosh, I think my boys saw your girls last night," and I was like, "Really? Well, that's interesting."
I feel like that was
Because they were home
only-
sleeping.
like,
Yeah, because they were in the basement. Oh wait,
I feel like that was the only time you've been like, you know,
yeah,
like that I've like done something wrong.
yeah. You really like. I think you guys are pretty trustworthy, and you know that like you're getting a little bit older. Obviously, give you a little bit more freedom because in a year you're going to be going away to college, and you know you've got to start to make some of these decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
So I would say I trust you 99% of the time.
Hey, that's
Which is pretty good.
That's good.
I mean, my parents probably would have said like 10% of the time.
Well, yeah.
But
Considering, yeah.
that was, you know, extenuating circumstances. So, yeah. All right. Well, what else do you want to share with all the moms who want to listen to Teenage Worlds?
Well, I don't even know. Is there a way to like for people to say what they want us to talk about, or
There could be when this goes live, we can have people write in and ask questions that you could answer.
yes? And I can also bring my other girlfriends on here, like my friends, that they would be funny. They could give their other perspectives on all this. see what they have to say. That would be
All
fun.
the stories.
All
Oh
the things.
yeah, all the
Well,
stories.
Yeah, and they're with us most of the time, so we love it. But we're really proud of you, and we love you. And Robin is always saying how you are so sweet and so
Yes.
pretty and all the things. And I'm just excited for you guys. Like, I always say you guys because there's two of them and
Yeah.
they're the same age and all the things. But like, you know, I'm not. This doesn't sound right, but aren't you like almost in a weird way? Like jealous isn't the right word, but
Yes.
like that
I
they
know
get
what
to
you're
do all this
And
still,
yes.
like that they're at that age.
Yes. It's like looking back, I just wish that I could do more things. I wish I wouldn't have been scared. Of
Yeah.
Things. Or like if it scared me,
Me
would've
too.
just would have went and did it and
Yeah.
know that it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I wish I would have moved to Arizona when they were little, when we kind of had the opportunity. Like, I wish I would have traveled more in college. I wish I would have moved to New York after after college for a few years or gone to law school. So like it's going to be fun to watch you guys because oh my gosh, it's like you
I'm excited
literally
too.
have your whole life ahead of you.
We
So.
have a lot of great support
Yeah.
too, so that's
Not everyone has, so.
No, definitely. I'll be there every weekend. Don't worry. No, just kidding. I'm like,
Probably won't miss you that much because you won't give me a chance to miss you. So.
well, right, because I'm going to be too cold, so I'm going to have to come see you all the time.
Yeah. She's gonna be so cool.
Probably end up moving there.
Probably.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, okay. Happy hour. Cheers.
thank you,
To
Piper,
two of
for
my
coming
favorite
and
girls in the whole
telling
world.
us.
And what's your parting words of wisdom? Or what
My-
are your parting words of wisdom?
If there's a way, tell us what questions to talk about or elaborate on, and I'll be back with my friends most likely. We should bring Izzy and Joe on here.
Oh yeah,
my
for
sister and her
sure.
boyfriend should definitely come on. That'd
Talking
be really
about like
funny.
what a relationship is like in high school. and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a good one. But they do have a very like, not many people have a relationship like they do. They're very
No.
lucky. So
I've never really seen a high school relationship with. I mean, they have their stupid nitpick drama, but
Yeah.
not like. I feel like it's a very healthy relationship.
especially in this day and age, like
Social
there's-
media.
well, it's just like guys like now are just not like Joe. It's not all guys. Like there's some girls too, but like it's hard to find a guy like him. Which you know, she's lucky and he's lucky too because she's a great girlfriend too. They're
Like
both
the
lucky.
cutest ever.
We'll bring them on sometime. So. All right, guys, we are going to hop off. We will be back next week again with a new topic, and we thank you guys for listening. Our merch is going to be out soon, and we're going to have all the teenagers wearing the happy hour sweatsuits, and we're going to do shorts for summer, sweat shorts,
Yep.
and all the things. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.